Alrighty. Resident Evil Zero.
Yep.
And yes, Lorax, nobody died, so we did okay.
Oh, well, speaking of Darkest Dungeon, especially if any of you, you weren't here from when we got started, then I have a link on the bottom there.
That all of you can use. That, it's a, what was it called?
Paste bin. Yeah.
Paste bin.
Yeah, I put a paste bin link up to the current classes and who's got what. And I guess RE0 is a little louder than I thought it was. Maybe bump it back down to 10 or 15.
There we go.
Yeah, that should probably work.
And what is the purpose of the paste bin again?
Yes, basically you can take a look at that, and you see who's requested what and who's got what class and everything. And you can request to either be the name of a class you already have, or if you want another class whenever we get another one, because I think we have one of everybody by now. Yeah, we do. We have at least one of everything by now. And,
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and then you can just request the next one if you have a preference, like if you have a favorite class. And if you don't have one, then I can basically put one in reserve, and if somebody dies, then you get moved up in the queue. Oh, Zane's mom unfortunately had an infected tooth, and the eye attached the cornea and ripped off part of it. Wow. Ugh. Well, speaking of things getting ripped off. Speaking of things getting ripped off, Ben had to fight a giant bat that took off Billy's face last time.
It was very much not fun. I will admit that. Also, where did I leave Billy's knife? I think I left it in the other area.
In the foyer of the mansion.
Oh no!
Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah.
So we leave these.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll leave this because one shot isn't going to do me a lot of good.
Right. Yeah, one grenade for two spaces. Xena agrees, bad is the worst part of the game by far.
So I'm glad the worst part of it is over. I will admit that, yeah, the fact that it basically took the very last try before I quit the game kind of aggravates me a little bit, because I was kind of hoping that... So it goes. We're still going to be chugging through here.
Yeah, well, we're on the third like part or area or whatever of the game. So we're,
Hi, Becky.
Yeah, she hasn't been very useful.
She's been very useful. Otherwise, that door wouldn't open.
True. Yeah, Zane says basically there is no good consistent strat for the boss. You stand and shoot and hope to God it works. Yeah,
that's basically what happened with me. The time that it actually worked was the time where it actually stayed still.
Right. Yeah, the problem is that he basically...
In case all of you are wondering, yes, I have to run all the way back to get the hook shot. So.
Right. Yeah, the big problem with it, aside from being a terribly designed boss, is that, it can flap in basically any direction backwards. And it kind of like the bad sense of the necrodancer, just kind of fly in a random direction. And yeah, that's kind of the problem with it, is that if it kind of flew backwards, Ben would hit it. But if it kind of went at an angle, you had to shift your direction before you started firing yourself. And yeah, the game's just not that precise.
Right.
Lorax said he saw a video that claimed to work fairly reliably. I was going to link that, but we beat it before we beat it first. You got it pretty close then. Yeah, we've seen a couple things in here for to get kind of good ideas of sections that Ben was having trouble with and how you're supposed to do it. Since as mentioned before, neither one of us has played much of the old school Resident Evils, so.
All right. I left the hook shot here.
Ah, there we go.
And
it would be nice if we had some green herbs to take back for Becky, but
nope. We've got one blue herb, and that is it.
Well, two blue herbs.
Well,
yeah, I'm kind of glad they got rid of that whole blue herb thing in the later games.
I kind of want to bring my shotgun, but I don't really have space for it.
Yeah, you have to drop your knife.
Right.
You'll have to go back to the bat room, drop the knife, come back here, get the.
Well, I think you have to have the hook shot in your inventory in order to use it,
Right.
which is a little frustrating because you would think you could just leave the hook dangling there, but you can't.
Right.
Huh.
I would just put the knife down for now.
Well, even if I did that, I wouldn't have ammo. So it should give me 7
right.
shots. I mean, that might be enough.
Mm.
Blue herbs, Vex, heal you from poison. That's all they do. Here we are.
Mm.
And is it fully loaded? It is. Alright.
Excellent.
Now we run forth, use the hook shot up to the bats in the belfry, then we put it back down, and monkeys probably.
And Vex kind of sums it up. Yeah, that's dumb. Yeah,
It's even worse than you might think, because generally there's a lot of different distance between where the blue herbs are and where enemies that poison you are. So if you do not know that there are enemies that can poison you coming up ahead, you won't have the blue herb, which means you will suffer quite a bit by the time you get back.
right.
Alternatively, if you do know that, then you will likely either not get hurt and therefore not need them, or you'll just kind of save and load until you succeed. So, for example, the first thing with poison you do is that trapped chest set,
Right.
and there is no way that you're going to let yourself be cheap shotted like that. So
I think what might have helped is if this game had the magic item boxes that Resident Evil, I think, was it 2 or 3, did, and it's like, yeah, you could deposit stuff in one box, and they would somehow be there at another box, and if they had that system in place for this game, I think that would have worked a lot better.
or just inventory slots in general.
Yeah. Well, I meant that, like, if that was an absolute non-starter because of the engine they used,
Right.
then you could at least do the item boxes, and not only would that help out not having to run through 10 loading screens to get back to your checkpoint, but you also wouldn't have to dump all your items on the floor and carefully separate piles so you didn't accidentally keep touching the wrong items over and over and over again.
Whee! Yeah, Ada's grapple gun, this is not. Okay.
We are in uncharted territory. Exciting loading screens.
Yes. Because I don't know about you, but we needed that extra loading screen for the roof. I'm going to guess there might be dogs in here, so I'm going to equip that just to be sure.
Right.
I see a group. Scenic view of Del Lago. What is that? Don't touch bat fire?
Huh.
Bad fire? Not right now. It says don't touch.
Don't copy that
Look!
floppy.
Another red herb, which is what we exactly do not need right now.
Don't copy that floppy. We can't carry it now anyway. So will this connect to the...
Yes.
Okay. So now we can finally...
We can finally get Becky back.
Right.
Yay!
We just have to find a green herb to go with her... to go with that red herb so she can heal herself.
Red herbs. We have two.
Oh.
See?
Unfortunately, you can't mix red and red. You don't have the proper Christmas spirit that way.
Yeah. So this is...
So you flip that switch,
Okay.
and then you can...
And then we hopefully not die.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, Billy has Becky's pistol, right? Or do they just have each other's? Yeah,
Okay,
they just
so they have each
they
other's.
just switch guns. Yeah. So I have the Magnum rounds with no Magnum to use. I assume we'll have to be getting it at some point in this third part.
Yay!
Sweet. Oh, that was an easy puzzle.
And with the two of them, I believe I will go back now and, among other things, put away the hook shot.
Right. Should we start using like the opening to the church or something as a new dumping ground? There's a safe point there.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Yeah. Well, save the viewers some,
We'll still have to run back to grab some things, but...
Inkbig.
Hey!
Welcome back.
We are not worried now that you made it.
Keep calm and wait for Inkbig. Those silly Doctor Who t-shirts.
Okay, so we leave that, and we leave that.
Yep. Silly hook shot.
Okay. And then we will run back, grab all of the remaining things.
Should we put down, like, to give them some space for now, like put down the shotgun somewhere else, or do you think you can cover it?
What do you mean?
Like, if you put down stuff, they won't, because there won't be any new enemies there, so you could open up some space, to move everything in one go.
I'm thinking about the things that are still there, and basically there are 2 blue herbs.
Mm-hmm.
There's the grenade launcher. There's the ammo, and that's about it.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll be needing to clear out inventory space.
Fair enough.
And I could, if I wanted to, bring both blue herbs, but I don't think that's going to be necessary.
Yeah, I can't imagine if there are enemies left in the game that can poison you. I'm pretty sure there'll be blue herbs beyond them, because I don't think even this game is going to be such that you have to take items from a previous area to deal with something in the next area.
Right.
Aside, of course, and not counting basic things like ammo, because of course all the Magnum ammo you'd have gotten by now, but you can't cash in until you get your Magnum.
Right. Yeah, the big spiders are the ones that poison you most. So.
They'll be running into any more of those.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm guessing that as we're going into the lab, that's probably going to run into more of the.
We're going to run into more bio.
The BOWs, yeah.
More bows.
Bows. Bowser Castle.
I know for a fact we're going to face more of those leech things, so that's going to be fun.
Right. So far, we've just been running past pretty much every time they've shown up.
Right. Well, not every time, because we've had to kill some of them.
Right.
But yeah, they take so much damage that unless you have fire weapons, it's just not worth it.
Oh, you mean like the leechmonger?
Yes.
Those guys, yeah. Oh, you're right. You didn't have a whole lot left. There's some gas over there on the side, though.
Right. And that's right, I had left the grenade launcher in the other area, so...
And we're thinking ahead.
Alright, with this should be the last time that I go through here.
Yeah.
So I don't need the hunting shotgun, so...
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, that's Billy's knife.
Okay.
I don't think there's any difference between the two.
Yeah, the knives are the same. Kind of a letdown. I figure like a military enthusiast, would probably have like a Bowie knife or something.
Well, I don't think he's an enthusiast per se. He is actually a Marine.
Well, yeah.
I think he was a Marine, wasn't he? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It's like a lot of people that.
If anything, I think he would be relatively unenthused by this point.
Yeah, court martial probably do that to you.
It also marks one of the few times in American jurisprudence where they totally had it coming is actually a valid defense.
AKA the Texas defense. Although the Texas defense was that guy needed killing.
Right.
So while Ben's dealing with loading screens, what do you all think?
Yay, loading screens!
What do you all think of the new panels and layouts we've done for the Twitch channel? Not that I'm fishing too much for compliments and approval, but I am curious.
Yeah, let it be known that Wayne is basically, as I've mentioned before, the tech guy and handles all of the updating and things. So this is your chance to be nice to him for having done something kind of actually specifically for you all.
Yeah, the main thing was having a schedule up because I've noticed a lot of people like Lorax especially that like to be here before I get started, which I appreciate. You
Yeah.
know, it's very cool that you guys do that. His name's like they look decent, I guess. But I wanted to have a schedule up, you know, for everybody to know when we're planning on doing what. And of course, schedules are subject to change. Like if Sway can't make it for Demon Souls tomorrow, I'll probably do Dark Souls instead. But you know, that's a general block when we plan on doing stuff.
Not that Zanes are better. I was about to say, Zane, if we added more purple foxes, would you approve more? Okay. So with that, I think we are ready. I think I'm going to go ahead and save before we head down into the depths.
Yeah, that was that was a good 15 minutes of busy work.
Inventory juggling,
Right.
yay! There we are. Increment.
Yep. I kind of like the music here.
We record the data.
Speaking of music, I did completely forget to turn up our speakers and actually listen to the Cove music. I'll have to do that next time
Oh, yeah.
we get there. Yeah, I'm in the camp that I
Oh, and speaking of music, y'all need to remember
Oh, yes.
to send us tracks for the Crypt of the Necrodancer send-off, which will probably be not this upcoming weekend, maybe the week after that.
It will be the second weekend in April, and the reason.
Well, it might not be a weekend. I might do it on Wednesday or something.
Okay, but yeah, it will be after the weekend after next, because
I'm actually going to keep that in case there's a save point down the elevator.
is this weekend we're hosting a bachelor party, you know, a very low key one, you know, nerdy one for our friend.
Now, let it be known that Wayne says we're hosting. I am hosting because I'm the one who's made all of the arrangements and everything.
Ben's done the work, right?
Yes.
We're doing that for our friend this weekend, and then he's actually getting married the weekend after that.
Hence the bachelor party, as
Right.
you might guess.
And Ben as a groomsman, I'm the best man for it. So you know, we have that weekend fortunately spoken for.
Not as much as he's spoken
Speaking
for.
spoken
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
right? Okay, back to the game. We're going.
But yeah, if y'all ever thought you would never see us in tuxedos, well, you still might not. But
But yeah. Long story short is that if you can send us a Twitch message with a link or just the title and stuff like that, and songs you want to have us play for Crypt of the Necrodancer on its last thing, I will try to get them to work in our last stream of it. Yeah, P-Bug already sent us a couple.
huh? I feel like I should be able to read that placard, but it's not letting me.
Yeah, probably not.
Yes, Lorax, you can send YouTube links.
Yeah, YouTube links actually work better because then I can use the YouTube to MP3 website without having to track them down myself. Yeah, just YouTube link, and if you can't find a link to it online, you can just send us the name of the artist and the title, and I can find it from there.
Special capsule. I'll hide it in that place.
Yeah, I was using search engines back when search engine optimization was actually a skill people put on their computer stuff, so I can find pretty much anything.
Zane, you could just email it to me.
And if you
Do I need the hook shot?
I think you need the hook shot.
It doesn't have the squiggly mark.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, maybe the things are just stepping on it.
Right.
Let's see.
Oh,
No,
yep, there it is.
squiggly mark. Oh, great.
Well,
Okay.
so back down the elevator.
Back up the elevator, you mean?
Up the elevator.
Yes. But on the positive side,
Shandu Can Do. Yeah, I don't know what show that's from.
to the operating room.
Huh.
Well, I haven't been to the operating room yet, so...
Right. That's probably another
Out of
forced,
the way. Thank you.
another forced separation sequence.
Well, we're already in one, so...
Oh yeah. You probably would have wanted to wait for you when you came back with the hook shot. Yeah,
It's not like I'm hurting for ink ribbons, though.
true.
Okay. So leave these. And actually, I guess Becky will be the one. No, I want Billy to be the one to do exploring because he's actually got health and she does not.
Well, a Twitch message Inkbig would be ideal because if you leave it in the chat, we may not be there when we would come to check it later.
Right.
And we can't exactly check links that are going to play music while we're streaming a video game with sound.
That said, if you were to pull up your laptop, you could.
Oh, I suppose. We will go the extra mile.
Just for you, Inkbig.
My laptop's over there on your side. Hop into the chat. There'll be 2 brute gamers.
I do have to apologize, too. I'm still suffering from a cold, so if there's coughing, sneezing, and things like that, that's why. Aggravating, too, because I've been fighting it off since Sunday.
Mm. Oh, and my ear's still, clogged up, and it's been there for a month. That's spring for you.
Yep.
Okay, let's minimize and pause will work. Oh no, not no ink big. Yeah, you. I will totally understand if you don't want to use Twitter.
Yeah, that's why you said a Twitch
message. Yeah. Unfortunately, I dropped in. If you want to send that link again, Inkbig, I joined right after you sent it.
Well, a fair bit after, actually, but
well, I did catch his next line.
Okay, so we run back, use the hook shot. This really is like an adventure game with a little bit of action.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean that was the whole theme behind Alone in the Dark and the games like that. Is that whole survival horror thing was much more of an adventure game with some scary stuff.
Right.
And I think that's where Capcom kind of found that winning formula to add shooting mans into it.
Right.
Because that's always made games more popular. It's like kind of like the Call of Duty series. Like the more mans you shoot, then the more successful they are.
It actually reminds me of an article I read a little while back that basically posited that people just kind of demand more and more shooting or explosions or things like
Right.
that, and actually feel shortchanged if the expectations aren't met.
Yeah, so we still haven't seen it yet, but apparently a serious complaint lodged against Ant-Man. It was like the scale of destruction was less than like Man of Steel and stuff like
Right.
that. It's like, well, that's a good thing,
Right.
shouldn't it be? I mean, the Man of Steel was nuts.
It's totally okay because now they're going to be doing different things with it.
First, the entry code was
Something significant is children's growth.
interesting.
What did he mean?
So the leeches, of course. That's a.
Uh-oh.
Did somebody skin a tiger or like a zebra? And uh-oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, hey.
So we got a fair bit to explore here.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. Going back a little bit, I have to ask, what religious reason would you have to not use Twitter?
Let's see if I can get around him.
Because if you were Amish or something, you wouldn't be here at all. I mean, examples.
Yes, let's press the button.
Because we're full up on stuff. We probably don't need that to get back down anyway. Hey, Phoenix.
Okay, leech capsule get. Oh, I want...
The bottle. Yes, sir, can you Molotov the guy to death?
if I survive.
You threw them off pretty quickly that time, but you still took damage, yeah. Yeah, you went from yellow to orange caution. I think you successfully iframed through that one.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ouch. But
Yep.
because he found the phrase religious reasons in case I need to explain anything. You'd be like one of the, what was it, like 4,000 people, I think, in England that acclaim themselves Jedi and want to get that organized as a official, state recognized religion, right?
Okay, so Molotovs are a thing I'm going to need.
Yeah.
You're entering an insane world of more leeches.
I'll check it out.
Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I should have saved after I grabbed that. So I'll have to save after I grab the hookshot and come back.
Right. That's kind of what I recommended, yeah. Of course, we didn't expect the leechmonger, up there.
Right.
Yeah, I was starting to think of, why did I keep using the term leechmonger, but that was a boss in Demon Souls.
Right.
Whereas, normally you'd think of it as somebody who's aggressively peddling leeches to you.
Well, he is aggressively, offering me a lot of leeches. So.
Yeah, so I'm kind of I'm starting to think about how the game could handle enemies like that. It's like if you make them stagger like normal, then you can kill them with anything. Kind of like in RE4, how it's possible to kill any enemy with a knife, if you're patient enough. And I'm guessing you might be able to do something similar in this game. If you're like really good at mastering the exact like frames of attack and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like the big problem with things like those leech enemies is that they're pretty much always going to get some hits in on you because they attack, because their range is so long and you can't stun them, except for things like the Molotovs, like half the screen away.
Right.
So you basically have to know they're coming, thanks to the magic of the inventory management system, and deal with them accordingly. Which, considering you have save points everywhere, that kind of reinforces the whole adventure game logic, because that's how those worked, especially the Sierra games, where it was not only possible but expected that you would die multiple times trying to beat them.
Right. Problem that I have is that most adventure games don't require quite so much busy work.
Right.
Generally because you had infinite inventory space.
Yeah, infinite inventory space and usually infinite and easy saving.
Right.
Like if you could just jump back to whichever room you were in, that'd be a lot less tedious. There's another one of those things too that I'm glad you all are sticking with us for this one, because if you're playing the solo, this would be the kind of thing where you just put some music on and just deal with the fact that you have to spend a couple minutes every time, wasting your time to get back.
Right.
Whereas in this case, it's like, welp.
And excellent, Zane. I'll take a look at it later on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll overwrite that. Actually, I probably should have overwritten the other one, but whatever. Okay.
Gonna watch Lucifer, actually. What's that about? Is that the... Are you with Ink Big on your religious reasons? You're a Satanist? Speaking of Satanism and everything, Ben was kind of on a classic horror movie kick, and watched.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far.
Yeah, I almost said Victor Morgan. Watched Vincent Price's Mask of the Red Death, and that was the backdrop behind that one. That like he was this
Yeah, but Prince Prospero was actually a Satanist.
Mm.
Alright. Let me grab those bottles, please. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can get to him before he goes into, I think 3 will do it.
I don't know. I've got to find out.
Yeah, I'm almost reload it right there, just...
Obviously.
Right.
I want to make sure, though, that this will actually kill him.
Okay, understandable. Oh, so
Okay, so 2 will kill
yeah.
him. Because if it hadn't have killed him, then loading would have been a complete waste of time.
Right.
So in that case, I think what I'll do is I'll actually take some of the ones from Rebecca, use them, then
restock. Right. Yeah, that'd be a lot safer. I wonder if the one time it took 3, because I seem to remember it taking 3 last time, is he might like heal up when he switches forms.
It's possible, but I doubt it.
Yeah, in that case, I guess you might try it straight up. And with the 2 that you've got,
That's right, he won't have space for it.
won't need the shotgun though.
I probably will after this, is the thing.
Then have her hold the pistol for now.
Yes.
20 shotgun shells is pretty good.
It's just that, it is not a good idea to have somebody generally unequipped.
Right.
So.
No, I'm totally aware of that. I mean, you can go back with the hook shot after you're done with this guy. Okay.
Though, to be honest, I'll probably want to keep those Molotovs in case there's any more of those things.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think? We run out to him and shotgun him while he's in...
No. If 2 will do it, then 2 will do it.
Right.
Huh.
You can still attack before he turns brown.
And that time it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think 2 will do it if he starts off human. Yeah, that's because he didn't get a direct hit thanks to the camera angle. Jeez.
Sprawl asks, where are all the leeches?
They're all over Billy.
How do I get rid of them? Yeah. Yeah, there's supposed to be a way to get rid of them, but I don't remember what it was, and that obviously got me killed.
Yeah, let me look that one up.
Resident Evil 0.
To get rid of leeches. Did you know if you light a match and hold it...
He has a lighter, it doesn't work.
I was expecting a serious answer to that. But, Resident Evil 0...
Yeah, Sprawl, that was well timed.
You can step on the little ones to squash them.
Yes, that's if they're not already on you.
If you accumulate a few, if you don't, as long as they don't reach your neck, they'll be harmless and will vanish when you reach an exit.
Okay, so I have to leave a room.
Mm-hmm. I guess when the camera's not looking, they can pull them off.
Why would you get rid of leeches? They cure disease and heal 15% of your health.
Yeah, I think the next time we set up our crew for Darkest Dungeon, we'll try out sending Mog along with people and try to cure all those diseases on her.
Yay for camera angles.
Right.
Okay. That's why I can actually equip that.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't stagger.
Right. That time I got 2 hits in on you.
He got 1, it staggered me, and by the time that I got around, he got his attack.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, regardless of how he did it, the fact remains he can actually outpace you on attacks, and it's not really...
Yeah, I can't get around him either. Here we go. Still puts me in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do better than that. So I'm just not even going to try to bother with it. Okay. Press the button.
Yeah, the fact that if you want to hit him from long range, you have that fact where you can't even see him.
I guess in the lab man.
Okay. Well, that's good at least.
All right, out we go.
Mm-hmm.
If we fight any more of those things, we're dead. So.
But what if you fight 2 more of those things?
Then we're really dead. Seems like a silly question. Let's see. So this is locked and the other 2 are not.
Right.
Up is a save room.
Mm-hmm. We want to keep our eyes open for the operator room or whatever it is that Rebecca can send items to.
Well, obviously, but...
That's cool.
Oh, there we are. Okay, so I will want to combine more of these. I'm guessing that means we're going to be facing more leechmongers.
Right. So you can heal one of them up with that, and plus Becky's
so it's going to be Billy.
rudder. Yeah. Lorax says, been busy listening to music rather than watching the stream. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah. Sampling your own goods there. But thank you for some links. Yeah, I figure the people that send them in, we'll try to do a couple songs from each of you, and probably play for,
Yeah, if you can mark which ones you actually want to see, like more so than any others, like some kind of priority, then that would probably work. So I have no idea how long I'll actually be playing it, so...
Well, don't forget, I'll be playing some too.
How long will be playing it, then?
Right.
There we are.
I just have to say, Ben, if you want me to stream something else, you take a break. I mean, I'm totally down with that. Seem like you're kind of...
I got mauled by leeches. I think I'm entitled to be a little aggravated.
A little grumpy.
Okay, so I grab this, and I'll go back down. And actually, I'll need to leave something else here.
Well, I wonder what we're going to need the samples for.
That's probably the laboratory thing.
It's locked.
Locked, can't open it. Okay.
Full of glass windows, you should be able to... Nah.
You'd think, but... Then I guess we'll go ahead and leave these here, because I'm probably going to need the hookshot to get up and down.
True. That is a really good point.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably would have had to make a trip back. I forgot about that little detail. Where did you drop the hookshot? The same room?
Right by the door, or by the hole.
Right. Makes sense. Just put it where you need it.
Right. That was the idea.
The whole grappling hook, mechanic to get around areas, adding a puzzle element to it, could have been good. But as it is, it just adds, to this.
It just adds to more inventory juggling.
Right.
Because, yeah, the simple fact of the matter is that... Oh, great. Okay.
Well.
Too dangerous to climb down. Not too dangerous to climb up, though.
Right.
And arg, this camera. Okay. So that means that I'm going to have to leave that green herb around until I can finally send it back to Becky.
Right.
Lorix's list is half good songs, half songs that will annoy other people watching.
Well, that works for me. If nothing else, and I'll just listen to the good ones, and then we'll see about playing the ones that would work better for the group. I think really the only criteria we have is it has to be kind of catchy with a distinctive beat, because I'm not sure how it will turn an MP3 into a track for the game. Though I would assume it would just go off the the tempo that it's in.
It's probably the safest guess.
Mm.